One of the people that we'll be speaking to is a founder of a co-working space called iSpace. And it was interesting again that he used to be the business development director at Learning Without Frontiers. So question is, something pushed him to find his own frontier. He will share that story with us and what crazy actually means to an entrepreneur. His name is Josiah. Josiah is a man that I call crazy. Please put your hands together for him.
I used to have hair before, but God in his infinite wisdom decided to take it back. So when I was told to do this crazy thing or to get started, I'm thinking, okay, how do I start? Right? Where do I start from? Because usually talking in front of people is something that I don't really like doing. I like talking, but I don't like talking in front of people, which is strange. But we'll make it happen. So this is me. Right? You've seen the movie Batman, right?
Yeah.
Bane. That's my ultimate hero. But, we'll get to that point. Jess, why isn't your thing working? See, this is life. You plan and doesn't go according to plan, right? So
let me help.
Let's do something. So basically, most of you want to start your business, right? You're asking for permission. Me, I don't. I think like a lion, right? A lion will not ask for permission to go and eat another animal. That's it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Because I've always said, ask for the opinions and you will get their judgment. So when you want to start something, you don't go ask your friends, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? And then when they give you quote unquote their opinions, you get upset. Don't do it, it might not work. Well, if you believed in yourself enough, you won't be asking for anybody's permission. Because ultimately, like everybody said here, it's your dream. Why are you asking for my permission? Right? When a nightmare starts, you were the one sleeping, not me. Right? So why are you asking for my permission? So I don't do that. But doesn't mean that I'm arrogant enough to think, everything is possible. We have a saying that everything is possible, but don't be dumb. Right? Don't be dumb. And like the pastor rightly said, you can't do anything without God in that sense, right? And I hope I get this right. When it said in the beginning, the earth had no shape, right? But then God did what? God started separating the earth and all of those other stuff. That's how business works. Some of you think you can become a millionaire overnight. So you're here. This is your idea. The money's over there. You can't leap from here and get there in one jump, right? Now in between here, those are the crocodiles. Real businessmen. In Ghana, you send your proposal to somebody and they will tell you have a meeting with you. And then what? Next thing you know, your idea is on empty and then your idea is gone, right? Then you're back home crying. But you want to get started because your prize is over there. So this is the real life. What do? Do you give up? Right? Winston Churchill said it best, when you're in hell, keep going. Because you're there anyway. Right? You're there anyway. See, so if you stop, so it's almost like, okay, so I'm here. I want to get there, right? I've done the hard work. Now I'm here. Now all of a sudden I meet real businessmen. The ones that can punch holes through your proposals, right? And say, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. Now if I do this, that means I have to start all over again, right? So now I'm here. I need to get there. I need to figure out how to get there. Like Jesse Rice said, you have to know the industry that you work in. Some of you want to be musicians, especially the women. Yes, you think get into a studio with your pretty face and everything else, and then you hit number one. It doesn't happen like that. Right? That's not the real world. You have to wake up all times, go to a studio, do so many different interviews in order for you to become successful. Yes, you might see Beyonce right now jumping on stage and doing whatever she's doing, right? She got started. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't just start in 1 year, and then think you're going to be winning Oscars and, you know, Grammys and everything else just because you're doing what the person is doing, right? It doesn't happen like that. Second point, perseverance. You know, when you were talking about that 29K. So I used to work in Nigeria, 2009, and I was earning 35,000 Ghana cedis a month, right? I had 2 cars, 6-bedroom house. I know you're thinking, how old is he? I'm 40, don't get it twisted. Right? 2 cars. And we probably employed about 22 people. So I went in there, you know, London kid in Nigeria, thinking my accent and stuff was going to carry me through, right? So you go to meetings. I met Dangote and all of those other people. Tony Lumelu had meetings, but the thing wasn't working. Stressed out. You just do any and everything you can, but it wasn't working. So I decided, I moved my family from London to live in Nigeria. The next thing I did was then do what? Move them back. Because I thought to myself, you know, self-arrogance though, you know what? I could do this. I don't need this guy, so I quit my job. Totally. Because I couldn't handle the pressure. Instead of persevering, I quit. Right? Like totally quit. Left all that behind. Left the money behind, left the cars, everything. Moved to Ivory Coast. Now here's the foolishness bit. So we working. My business partner, dodgy. Right? Dodgy. Painted the, you know, like you were saying that before you do something, know what it is that you're doing. So this guy told me, yeah, you know, we got money in the bank and everything is going to work out. So I get to Ivory Coast. Meanwhile, I don't speak French, right? Nothing. So I get to Ivory Coast. We go to the bank, unknown to me. His cousin is the bank manager. So, like the express, you know, the Excel spreadsheet, they make it look good, right? So he shows me a business account. Everything looks good. So then I decided, yeah, we're going to work in Ivory Coast. So I've got started. Now you can't pay bills because every single check you write bounces, right? It just bounces. And you're thinking, how is that possible? Because I have money in a bank account. So this can't be possible. But then here's the foolishness bit. In Nigeria, I had all the resources, cars, the money, everything. The only difference is that my boss was pushing me too hard. Now I'm in Ivory Coast, no money, no family, no friends. Now, this is the country I decided to do what? Persevere in. Because of foolish pride. Because I figured, I can't let this happen again, right? But this time you have nothing, but you decide to do what? Everything. By the time when you had everything, you decided to do nothing. Right? So, we signed a deal with some MTN. They take these rich people to South Africa. At that time, my wife was pregnant. So meanwhile, 8 months, I haven't earned a dime, like no money. Right? Like nothing. So we signed a deal, take people to South Africa. That was around the World Cup when Ghana should have actually won that, but that's another case. You know. We signed this deal, and then my partner, we're supposed to make, what, 135,000 euros commission clean, just taking people on the plane to South Africa. So then he tells me, oh yeah, we've got the money and everything else. So I fly back to London, you know, explain to my wife why I haven't been around and the money and everything else, so pressure. But let me go back to Ivory Coast because the check is there, so I get the money and then come back. Went back to Ivory Coast, money disappeared. Wrong partner again. Right? And that leads to my second point of running mate, but I'll touch that. So now money disappears, and I'm thinking, since I persevered so long, I need to get my money, right? And then God in his infinite wisdom decides the 2 people will have to go to war. You know, the North and the South. And I'm in the middle thinking, yo, where's my money? Right, like my money. We've signed a deal with Bank Atlantique because at that time I was doing concierge service. So rich people will get services with your card, so when you call them, they will do all the service for you, right? And here is the bit that hurts me. Bank Atlantique has pretty much what? West Africa covered. So they signed the deal for 3.2 million euros. They're just going to buy membership from us and then give the cards out to people, and then if they need my services, they call me. Chances are they'll probably even not need my services, but hey, I've got 3.2 million in my bank account. Easy. But then these two people started a war. So now all, money shuts down. Where's my running mate? Nowhere to be found. Why? Because he is the first son, the grandson of the first president, right? So he knows his environment. Takes the money, disappears. So now you back to what? Square one again. You need to get started. Now here's the bit about entrepreneurship. And Mabel touched it on it. If you're not ready to fail, don't start this. If you're not ready to fail, don't start this. But the beauty about failure, right? And what I'm about to say, I think you need to do it like. And Jay-Z said it best, right? Show me any pretty woman and I'll show you a man that is upset, really tired of the nonsense. Right? And that is what success is. Success is a pretty woman. Yeah, you chasing her. Getting her is easy. That's the easy part. But maintaining that's the hard part. She wants the bags, she wants the latest phones and all of those other stuff. Now meanwhile, you can't afford it. So you're an entrepreneur. You spend all your money making somebody's Instagram look good. Right? That's what you're doing. You're supposed to be investing that money into your business, right? But like you rightly said, vanity, so you lose your mind. You do all of this other nonsense. So if you're not ready to be an entrepreneur, don't compare it with businessmen. No. Don't. Businessmen sell Coca-Cola, right? In the north. They know they don't need that there. They need water. But they will sell Coca-Cola because I need to make money. Entrepreneurs, we solve problems. We don't think about money first, yes, but doesn't mean that we're stupid enough not to understand that we need money. Right? There's a difference. We don't start a business because we want to make money. We want to solve a problem. But we still need to make money in order for us to do what? Solve that problem. So you need a running mate. And again, what I'm about to say sounds off, but I know the pastor will understand. Genesis 1:26, God said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. Us. So he was speaking to what? More than one person in that sense, right? So even God had a running mate. In that sense, right? Because I think in the beginning it said, then God spoke and the Spirit of God was moving on the face of the earth, right? So God had a running mate. So you can't do this on your own. You need people, but choose the right people. Not those envious friends. You know, the ones that they envy you, right? But they won't say it. They're the ones that always tell you why things won't work. Always telling you why things won't work. Surround yourself with people that understand your passion. They will tell you the truth. And don't mix up truth with criticism. They're two different things. I think in Ghana we do that too much. Oh, you're harsh because I told you don't walk through that door. That's not being harsh. It's a glass door. You can see it. If you walk through that, you might walk through, just open the door. That's what I'm trying to say. Right? But in Ghana, when you say that to somebody, they say you're being harsh. But the most important thing for you to do as an entrepreneur, don't sit, get started, figure it out. A businessman, right, will jump in a burning building with parachutes on, right? Because he's figured out there's fire. Everybody there needs parachutes. So whilst he's there, he will stop, sell it. He'll be like, oh, you want to jump? Yay. You can afford it. There's a parachute and I'll sell it to you, right? Entrepreneurs, we jump out of buildings and build the parachute whilst we're going down. We figured it out. But that's the beauty of it. You learn from your failures. Learn from them. Right? Learn from them. They're not a bad thing. And I'm sure you'll be able to tell me, what is the African word for failure? Exactly. Well, you see, white people, they something else. Oh. They have every word for failure. And here's the trick. They call it research. I'm searching something. It might not happen. They call it development. I'm doing something. It might not happen. They call it a test. You just want to find the results. Right? They call it pilot, meaning just the beginning stage of something. Right? But they're all failures. Because think about it. The Wright brothers, you know the guys that invented the aeroplane, quote unquote. If they got it right the first time, we all be dead by now. Think about it carefully. If they got it right the first time they tested the plane and it flew straight away, they'll think, oh yeah, that's how every plane is supposed to work. Until you fly from, let's say, Texas, and then now you're in Ghana and the aerodynamics and everything's different. Bang! You'll be like, yo, but it's the same plane. But because they failed over and over and over and over, they realized that, okay, you're supposed to build it this way and that way is for this weather and all of those other stuff. They didn't stop the first time they failed, but the most important thing is they got started. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, please get started, but it is not a joke. It is not a joke. If you're not built for this, don't get started. But I guarantee you though, if you don't get started, like the other speaker just said, you'll be on your bed 50 years from now, you know, when they put the tubes in, I wish I started this. It's too late now. Right? It's too late. And see, I really admire what you do, right? All my life, from the age of 6, I know what God wants me to do. But me, I'm like Jonah. Oh, yes. God wants me to go here, I'll get started there. Right? And then God will drag me here and I'll get started there. That's me. But then because God has patience as an entrepreneur, He will allow me to fail and learn from it. But eventually, I'm going to do what God wants me to do. That's just the difference. So all I'm telling you is, just get started. Right? Get started and just figure it out. Don't be scared. It's not a joke. Don't be scared. Just like some of you will get married because your friends got married. So then why don't you start your business because everybody else is doing your business? Right? You see what I'm saying? So if you're doing things just because other people are doing it, then why don't you start your business because other people are also doing business? Because if you think being Mark Zuckerberg is a great thing, I mean, you said, right? Because they were in a school where computers were, right? So it was easy for them. You hear some entrepreneurs in Ghana like, yeah, but Mark dropped out of school. He dropped out of Harvard. Think about it, right? He didn't drop out of Prempeh Saito. He dropped out of Harvard. Different ballgame, right? Different ballgame. You got Steve Jobs and his buddies launched up, the first computer in a garage. And then so you and your friends think you can do the same. His garage costs more than your whole neighborhood. Right? Get started, but know what you're dealing with. Know what you're dealing with. Ghana, it's not a joke. But guess what, entrepreneurs? Africa has challenges, and this is where the money is. Right? The more challenges you have as a society, the more success you can do, because guess what? Entrepreneurs, we exploit challenges. That's opportunities for us to plug in. Because you think Europe got where they are by accident? They got started. So if we want to see that nice neighborhoods that you see in Hollywood movies, then we have to get started. We're not going to sit there and think somebody's going to do it for you. Because when somebody does it for you, guess what? They will charge you in a way that you yourself can't even fathom. So if you want to change Ghana and see Ghana the way you want to see it, you get started. Don't wait for the president to do it. You get started. So on that note, thank you.